blah, blah, blah. What about Building 7? In Building 7, there's all this, and blah, blah, blah.
This is what we call bonus material
Uh,
for our Patreon.
The bonus material for the OnlyFans.
for the OnlyFans. Let's go back. We were talking about the conspiracy of the Vegas shooting.
And why don't and nobody brings that thing up anymore?
Why?
It's like it just disappeared.
It kind of disappeared.
well, that's kind of
But
how
how
America
come-
works. They forget about stuff after a while.
I
We have
guess.
short attention spans.
They're not. Oh, look at it. They're,
I guess we're just a really damaged
I don't know
country.
that the capital's ever really going to be safe again. They're going to forget about it.
Okay, but then
Who
we got
knows?
into 9/11. Okay, and you brought up Building 7.
Oh yeah, it's Building 7. It's like caught on fire. It's like it's streets and blocks away in New York, and somehow it just miraculously catches on fire.
No, Building 7 was kind of right. Because I've been
Or Tower 7. There's one.
I've been to Ground Zero. It's not that far away.
Well, there's like a tower that caught on fire. That's
The two towers.
There's the two towers that went down, and then there was another tower that nobody ever talks about that somehow caught on fire and burnt down, but nobody ever says anything about that tower.
They call that one Building 7.
It was a Building 7. And then
Yeah, if
that's
you
the
watch
building
the-
that has like all the
If you watch
the
the
main
9/11 conspiracy,
main shit in it.
Right. What did they say was in that building?
It's like fucking documents and money documents, or like there's a bunch of shit that's supposed to, and that's a weird
I'm
thing.
not saying there's no weird shit.
I don't know,
It
man.
is
It's
weird.
Okay,
It is
but
weird.
my point being is the amount of people. Say the government did.
Oh, I think it was
Trade
definitely a government fucking.
Okay, but how do you go in
Conspiracy
there
cover
and
up.
you hire construction workers to go, contractors to drill into the beams of the World Trade Center, plant explosives, but nobody comes out. Absolutely no one comes out and says, "Hey, guess what? I got a story for you."
I don't know. There's just a lot of.
Just the cover up that would take.
Well, it's like, and then you watch like a ton of videos where it's like before the plane even hits, it fucking like they slow it down before the plane even hits, it fucking blows up and then fucking hits a tower.
I don't think I saw that.
Dude, there's a ton of there's a ton of video that came out and then like was
I think
deleted
it clearly
and
shows a plane hitting the building and then.
I don't know. I just think there's so much like
Did a plane actually hit the building?
the towers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely a plane hit the building.
Okay, so
But the
that
Pentagon,
was
I don't
the
believe
thing.
about the Pentagon.
Yeah, but do we really know what the Pentagon, what the reinforcement was on the Pentagon? That if you flew a plane at several hundred miles an hour, that it just would have.
Well, I mean, if you
Yeah,
see it, I mean, that place is a concrete building, and it's like you see it. It's not
Yeah,
like,
it's like-
half of the building went down. There's
I
like
don't
an
know how
area
many
where it's
floors it is either.
there's like I think it's like 3 or 4 floors or something.
Okay.
But I mean, there's an indention into the building. But I mean, like I don't even know what.
Wasn't there footage though of a plane like clipping, like?
I don't even know if I've even seen any footage about
I swear
the whole
was.
Pentagon.
Yeah, I thought the Pentagon one was the one, like it didn't really make its mark, like where it was intending to hit or whatever. It didn't do what it was supposed to do. Like that's what I thought.
I mean, but if a like say like a small like 4-seater plane or like a small little jet plane hit that doing what like a couple hundred miles an hour, I wish Paul would be here because he'd be like, no airspeed velocity, blah 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 blah. But I mean, even like, is it gonna
I think
do that much? Is it going to burn up in a matter of minutes?
I think a smaller plane, you would have found pieces of the plane, but a jetliner hitting the Pentagon and whatever that's reinforced with, and there may be reasons why the government doesn't show pictures of airplane parts because maybe they don't want you to see what the Pentagon is reinforced with. I don't know.
I mean, there's pictures and video and stuff of like them at the Pentagon. I mean, why wouldn't they not show you pictures of the plane debris?
It's simple. You have a hijacker at the time. You could go through security with a box cutter. You threaten the stewardess. They open up the cabin doors. You hijack the plane. that sounds pretty simple to me than a cover-up of
I don't.
millions of people.
I don't see how. I mean, because Flight 91 was it 91
93
or 93?
Yeah.
It's like plane was supposed to fly back, and they were saying it was going to hit
right.
The White House.
The White House, and all those people took down that guy. But what happened to the pilots? Did the guy kill the pilots, and they had no pilot? Like one guy with a box cutter, like,
You know,
I've got a box cutter, and
I think-
100 people on a plane went, fuck you. We're going to fuck you up. You're not hijacking this plane.
If there was conspiracy on that one, would be that the jets we deployed shot down the aircraft, but it'd be really hard to explain that. So, and I don't know, I seem to recall watching the news that day, and like where the plane impacted in Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
There was like 2 debris fields.
Yeah.
On the ground. I don't know about.
I just don't like there's if you watch was it the 9/11 documentary they had on Netflix, which is extremely sad. You know, it's like during the whole was it the 20th anniversry?
Oh
and they had like the people like calling family members like
Yes.
while all the shit's going on,
And all the call, like the people
like
having to call their
Flight
family to tell
93,
them.
like it wasn't like, oh my god, this guy's in here with a box cutter. He just killed both the pilots. We're not going down. We're going to take this guy out. It's just like, guy in a box cutter. I've cut myself numerous times with fucking box cutters and razor blades. Like, not... And you're one guy, or even there's like 2 guys, or they probably said they had a bomb or something too, or supposedly guy had a bomb. It's like, all these
maybe
people...
Maybe he told them that in order to get them to... Because I always wondered, I'm like, why... They would have like... Yeah, if he would have just had a knife or something, people would have kicked his ass.
Yeah.
But, like, maybe that's what he said, too, that he had a bomb, and if they tried to do anything, that would happen.
I don't know. I mean, do you think now if something like that happened, like a big hijacking where, you know, some guys on, like, because, you know, you got like all the Trump supporters and like freedom and all this shit and like racial tensions and stuff. I mean, it wasn't like racial tensions have never existed, but now it seems like everything's just on a fucking...
No, we've said this on the podcast before that...
It's like they want another civil war. Some of them.
It's not... My point of view is after 9/11 tragedy, we all came together for at least a few weeks, and we were all nice to each other. We all had the American flags.
Oh yeah, but everybody was like, "Oh, fuck that taxi driver," though.
Oh yeah.
People were.
My boss was Indian, as Middle Eastern Indian, and I sort of chuckled. It's not funny at the time, but he came in and he had this little Honda Accord, and he had this huge American flag in his back window, but the sad thing about that was the hate that he was getting at the time. Even though he's Indian, you know, had nothing to do with it.
I could tell you a story about that. I just have watched a documentary because it's about capital punishment. And there was a guy in Texas who got mad because of what happened with the towers. So he went and took it out on store clerks. And a lot of the store clerks were Middle Eastern, which he confused it. They were Indian, the people who he had attacked. They weren't even
Middle
from
Eastern
the right country that he was like trying to target. Anyways, I think he killed one of them. One of them had ended up dying. And then the other 2 had been injured, like severely injured. Well, both of them forgave him and were trying to help him to get his sentence lessened to a life in prison versus the death penalty. Because they had given this guy the death penalty for his hate crimes. And so one of them became like really, really good friends and was there with him at the execution. And the guy, the redneck guy was like, he goes, good luck. You're not going to get them to overturn it in Texas. There's no way.
Yeah.
And he ended up dying. Like they gave him the shot. And the guy was there even at his death, you know, because he was like, there's no reason for like you to like take this guy's life because you know people deserve forgiveness.
And to circle back, because we went off-roading there for a minute. the point being is, I thought COVID, we would rally around, whether no matter what political side you're on, it'd be like 9/11. We all come together and get past this shit.
Not when you have people in power who are purposely using that as a tactic to divide people.
Right. But so if 9/11 happened now, another 9/11, would we come together?
Oh fuck no. I don't think so.
I think it's too damaged right now. Look,
I think the whole world is too damaged now.
What would happen is...
No, but I've made the reference on 1/6. We had idiots here that hypothetically flew our own planes into our own capital. You know, like there should be no reason for that.
But Portland, they rioted in Portland, so it's okay to riot in Washington.
I know, and no, but this is the thing. They have somebody, because it keeps more and more information is coming out about 1/6. I mean, you kind of sympathize with these people because they're just a bunch of dumb idiots who are believing this person telling them, we need to take this back. You've got the leader of our country telling folks that this was stolen, and people are raised like... We're raised to believe our president.
Wasn't he saying like, well, you gotta do what you gotta do, type of thing like that?
Right.
And then everybody's just like, fucking hell yeah.
And you have these idiots who have nothing to lose.
Trump is the fucking reincarnation of Jesus.
Yeah, they believe. So they're believing. Not that I agree with them, but I understand why this took place, because here you've got this figure who they view as their Lord and Savior, telling him to do this, who's running a very successful cult. He is running a great cult, you know.
People still think the guy's a fucking president. He's still my goddamn president.
Yeah,
it's like
they've all got the new flags. They can't seem to afford fucking food, you know, because they have delivered them their EBT cards before. But they have the money, god damn it, to go out and buy their brand new shiny Trump flag. 2024.
Well, the stupid.
Take America
you know what's
back.
stupid? Okay, so
like
it's stupid. Is so. Like, I don't know if people, like, forget, like, the history of America, or maybe they just don't want to think about it. But it's like, because I'm not a college educated.
They ain't a statue.
So how do I know what history is?
I'm not a college. I didn't graduate high school.
They've taken civics classes out of school, so a lot of people don't even know how their government works.
Yeah. Well, but it's like, okay, so when the George Floyd guy got killed by police, because they basically police fucking killed him. It's... well, he was on this and he was on that. It's like,
and he did porn.
Yeah,
so,
it's
they
didn't just handcuff the guy. They didn't handcuff the guy and like zip tie him and be like, hey, you're not fucking moving anywhere. There's 4 cops here. You know, it's like, Guy's got his knee on his neck. He's like, hey, I can't fucking breathe. A giant uproar, and I mean, I feel like it was blown out of proportion, because I'm like, you know what? I understand going to the police station and be like, your fucking cop just fucking killed this guy, and everybody rally up. And I know people that were like, they're huge Trump supporters, and we were talking, and they were like, well, why can't the African American people, why can't they just protest nicely? And it's like,
well, yeah.
Back in the 50s, were they trying to protest nicely just by using a water faucet, and cops would just shoot them? Or drag them behind cars?
They don't know any of that
it's like
history.
Peaceful protests don't seem to really work. It's like...
Why didn't George Floyd just comply? Well, you mentioned Ashley Babbitt.
Why didn't she just...
Yeah, why don't you just comply?
Like, how do they not have enough brain power to go, wait a second, I used this argument in the Floyd case, but now I can't use it against, oh wait, these people are on my side. Oh fuck, I can't use it going back against. Why is there no critical thinking though? Like if I was going to make a statement about something that I believed in, and then something, I'd be like, well, fucking A, dude. I mean, I've always used that argument. Like, how can I argue with that? Yeah. But they seem to just come up with all this bullshit.
Or it's like that, was it Kyle Rittenhouse?
Rittenhouse,
yeah, whatever the hell. It's like, dude, the guy pretty much killed somebody. Like, he shouldn't have been there anyways. And people were like, you came from a completely different town.
He killed 2 people and injured the other one.
Yeah, and it's like, you should get tried for fucking murder. Like, you killed 2 people. People want to hail you as like a hero.
They come out with security footage that did show like they were coming at him. Now, does that give him the right to shoot them? No. No.
But well, self-protection. It's like I don't know. It's like I feel like like people with guns. It's like I feel like when somebody has a gun and they're walking around with a gun, and then people will disagree. No. It's like I don't know, man. It's like walk around with a gun. I feel like you have a gun on your hip to protect yourself. But I always feel like the people that carry guns on them all the time, shit, like are just waiting for something to pop off.
Yeah.
It's like a 15-year-old kid carrying around a condom, like, oh shit, dude, I'm just waiting for something to fucking happen. I got my protection, and it's like I feel like you guys are just waiting for something to pop off. Like you want to be a fucking hero.
Yeah.
But the shitty thing is in Texas where you always hear those people, man, if I was in that situation, I had my gun, that shit wouldn't have happened. It's like a guy in El Paso went to a Walmart in Texas, started shooting up the place, and the whole Walmart, nobody pulled a gun and was like, fuck you, this is Texas.
Yeah, no one that was armed.
And then, or a Walmart or a mall or something, or no, it happened in a Walmart and then in a mall in Texas. And it's like,
and none of those people, they freeze up every single time there's like an armed good guy at any of these things. Because I keep saying, I'm like, come on, I want to get on board with you guys' side then. When are you going to prove that it's actually ever worked? Doesn't.
I've had guns and concealed carry permits, but I would rarely carry it with me unless I was actually going shooting or something like that, just because there is no situation that I can find myself in that pulling out that gun would make it better.
Right.
Either the guy with the gun that's holding up the place would either shoot me, shoot somebody else, or the police would barge in, they would see me with a gun, and they would shoot me.
They all think they're
you're
cowboys.
Right, so that probably wouldn't have happened.
Like,
if you were Middle Eastern or Hispanic, they'd be like, this guy's definitely affiliated with this guy. Take him out too.
So many people have just, it comes down to, I mean, it's going to sound kind of weird, but it's like they've seen one too many fucking hero movies.
Yeah.
They've been brainwashed with those over the years. Like, well, I know what this is going to, I could be a hero. I can use a gun. I could probably shoot faster than that guy. You don't fucking know any of that, though. I mean.
Yeah. Well, it's like I was in, what's it called? I was in Bangkok, Thai, getting lunch, and on television, they were watching, like, the Squid Games. Okay. And one of the guys in there, like, one of the cooks or something like that, was, like, talking about, this show is the reason why kids are killing people. It's just promoting all this violence and blah blah, and like basically acting like his generation never had that shit. And I'm like, didn't you guys have like television of Vietnam showing people just getting shot on television and like people killing people and then just bodies all over the place and basically high school kids are basically like, well, once I graduate high school, I'm getting drafted, and more likely I'm gonna die. Like that, that now the shit's the problem. I mean, I don't think that either you have a mentality to know what's right and wrong, and and there are kids that are just raised in a shitty fucking situation where it's you gotta fucking fight people and you gotta have guns and you gotta protect yourself, or you gotta do this, you gotta do that, and they don't get taught right or wrong.
Those are people who shouldn't have had kids. I mean, quite honest.
Because if I'm in a convenience store or something and some guy comes in and he's like, "Give me all your fucking money," I just be like, "I'm gonna fucking comply, dude, because I don't want to get fucking shot." Like, hey, just fucking take the shit, go, like, or even if I was a clerk behind the fucking cash register, if a guy came in, he's like, "Give me all your money," I'd be like, "Fuck this job."
Take it.
Take that.
I'll make
fuck
it $10 and $12 an hour. And
shit, I didn't get my fucking vacation time yesterday, and I've had to work for this coworker because he doesn't want to fucking work because he's using this COVID thing as, a way to get out of work, vacation. Like, fucking, dude, take the money here. You want fucking gas? How about this, dude? Get the gas, fill up your fucking tank, take the money, grab some ho-hos, get the fuck out.
Take whatever you want.
I'm not going to fucking die for this fucking 7-Eleven, dude. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I can get another job.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, it could be like Fast Times at Ridgemont High when the guy was sticking him up and they hit him with the coffee.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not going to be a hero.
Yeah, it's like, I wouldn't be no fucking hero. Even if I had a great job somewhere, I'd be like, no, I'm not going to be a fucking hero. Like,
yeah. None of it's worth it.
Take what you want, get the fuck out.
I think that goes back to, we were talking about in the last podcast, we were talking about, the people getting crushed at the concert in Houston. I think it just comes back to lack of empathy.
Yeah,
that definitely. We don't empathize, we don't feel anything for other people.
Empathy and selfishness.
I just feel like there's a lot of shit that could have been done differently to a festival. It's like we're having a festival, especially now that COVID's kind of everything's lenient now. Everybody wants freedom, everybody wants to have a good time, but we need to make sure this fucking shit runs fucking smoothly. And like, I don't know how well the security was there, but I mean, festivals have happened tons of times. I mean, there's always festivals, and it's like Woodstock, though, the original Woodstock, people fucking broke down the barricade, fucking got in and shit like that. But, it's like, you never hear about that shit happening in like the UK or like Wacken or like the download festivals or Hellfest or any of this shit, where it's like all these metal dudes coming to listen to this super aggressive music, or like, we're breaking down the fucking door,
you did have some people getting crushed at like a Pearl Jam concert back in the
How do you 90s. Get crushed at Pearl Jam, dude?
What happened?
Fucking Even Flow. Oh shit, dude, it's my jam.
People are crazy, man. I watched a band that came out of Tempe one year. I went down for the New Year's Eve show, and they were headlining that. Hey, Jealousy.
Oh, Gin Blossoms.
Gin Blossoms, right? Thank you. They were playing, and I was like, now I've seen everything. Really? Seriously? A mosh pit at Gin Blossoms? I don't understand. I don't understand why there's a fucking mosh pit here. I don't get it. I'm like, nobody should be getting hurt at shows like that.
We have done a Wall of Death at Swiller's Acoustic Show one night to a Goo Goo Doll song, which is really cool.
Oh,
yeah.
Were you playing Name?
No, we were playing, fuck. I forget. We play it all the fucking time.
But Goo Goo Doll, was it one of their older stuff? Didn't it used to be way more punk rock back in the day?
Yeah, they were more punk rock.
I heard that when they first started, they were like, really like punk.
Yeah.
And then they mellowed out a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's even like fucking Maroon 5. We're talking about Maroon 5. Before Maroon 5 was Maroon 5, they were kind of like a punk ska style band.
Oh.
And then they formed Maroon 5, released their pop style album. It got super big, did a second album, and then producers come in and they change everything up, and then band loses all.
I realize that's where the money is.
Yeah. I mean, because if, like with our...
and selling out.
With our, like, if I was in a band and... I mean, because everybody wants to be, like, being a musician, if someone was like, hey man, the album was great, and it's like you put out an album and you work your ass off to make this album, and you put it out and it's huge. Everybody's just like, oh my god, it's a great album. And then all the pressure comes in from the label, because maybe the label was like, didn't think anything was going to happen to you. They just put the album out. Next thing you know, it's fucking huge. And now the label's like, okay, we need an album just like that album. And then all the pressure starts building up, and then, you make a second album and it's fucking great. And then they're like, well, hey, we got all these producers. And then they start bringing all these songs that you don't even write. And then, now you're not even the same band, and everything changes because now all your producers come in and they start messing with their sound. Oh, well, you got to sound more relevant. And then you start sounding more relevant. And then you got to sell records. And if someone to do that and pay me millions of dollars, I'd fucking do it.
Yeah.
That's what.
Why would I not do it?
That's what drove Kurt Cobain
crazy. I think Kurt Cobain was murdered.
Of course.
I'm damn sure this guy had that much heroin in him to be like, I got the shotgun. Let me use my toe and blow my head off. It's like,
all right, we're back to conspiracies.
I know a bunch of people that are heroin addicts, and like fucking Tom. We can remember.
Oh yeah.
Tom. We were talking.
Tom died, right?
Yeah, Tom died.
Yeah.
Fucking chainsaw accident.
Yeah.
It's fucking crazy. Death by chainsaw. Tom Berry. Rest in peace. No, but he was a heroin addict and off and on stuff. But like we were talking about Kurt Cobain, and he would be like No fucking way. He's like, I've done enough heroin to know that the heroin that was in his system, no fucking way he's gonna be like, oh, get a gun, but blow my brains out. Like, he'd be passed out, dude. Like, I don't know, man. There's conspiracies about that shit too.
Yeah.
All right, so to wrap this one, our bonus OnlyFans episode. If the government did 9/11, what was the purpose of doing that?
The government did 9/11. What's the purpose? Well, I mean, 9/11 happened. We said, okay, these are the guys that did it, but we're not going to go after these guys. We're going to go after Saddam.
But
is that basically pretty much what happened, right?
But is George Bush Jr. smart enough to pull that off?
Right.
I don't know. Well, I mean,
that's a tough question.
Dick Cheney might be enough of an asshole to.
If you watch that movie Vice, where Christian Bale plays Dick Cheney, right? Yeah. The whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, boy, I think this guy was really the president the whole time. Like, there's no way that George Bush was the president.
I don't know. And I mean, I didn't.
Dick
I know
Cheney
whoever's probably listening to this is
named
like
Dick
probably like has gone through this whole conspiracy thing, like 9/11. Well, let me tell you, and I'm like, I don't know any like crazy shit like that. If my buddy Joe was here, he could go on probably for hours.
Well, we had this one of the guys that was in our little progressive group. He was a big conspiracy. And whenever something would happen, it was always like, oh, it's crisis actors, and this didn't happen. I'm like, but,
Oh, yeah.
But then what did happen? You explain to me what happened here.
Yeah.
And he was talking about the Boston bombing, and it was all crisis actors. But it turned out that one of our mutual friends knew one of the victims.
Yeah.
So there's shitty things that happen that aren't. Everything's not a conspiracy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think everything's a conspiracy, but there are some shit that happens, and you're like,
the building 7. I'll give you that. That is kind of weird to try to explain.
Just all of 9/11 is just weird to explain. It's like from 9/11 happening in the towers, and then to the Pentagon, and then was it Flight 93? It's just, I mean, I could understand everybody, like, because, I mean, what would you do if you were in that situation where you're like, on a plane, some guy's like, I'm hijacking this plane with this box cutter, but I have a bomb. I mean, everybody's going to probably tense up and be like, hey, we're going to...
But how many people would it take to pull off that illusion?
I don't even know.
Or like landing on the moon, like that.
Oh, I think the moon landing was fake too.
Okay, but how many people does it take back in 1969 to pull that off with the special effects that would be needed, and not one person comes out and says, hey, I got a scoop.
Well, it did.
I'm going to write a book.
It did. You didn't watch any of this stuff? So, during the whole moon, it was the whole moon race, space race. It's like you had Russia and American...
Cold War.
Yeah, whole thing. And like, so basically both of them were going. Russia decided to basically back out of it because they realized that there was too much radiation on the moon to actually land on the moon. Then America's like, oh, hey, we landed on the moon and stuff. But before all that shit happened, Stanley Kubrick did 2001. And during the making of 2001, he was in like cahoots with fucking NASA because he wanted the movie to be authentic. So like, hey, can this happen? Would this happen if this happened? Like, could this actually be possible? And if you watch like 2001, like there's like, screen talking, like FaceTime and all that shit. And then that came out 68, 67, 68. And even before then, like the video that they show like of Earth, like we didn't even really have pictures of Earth until like the moon landing. Like, hey, here's Earth now, and here's some pictures of Earth. And so Kubrick had all these ties with NASA. So NASA realized that, hey, there's no way we're going to be able to get to the moon, but we have been working with Stanley Kubrick for a long time. We'll just fake the fucking moon landing.
And wasn't there some kind of tie into the movie The Shining?
Dude, Stanley Kubrick and a ton of his movies, like, shows, like, basically tells you, like, hey, I did the moon landing. Like, and even in The Shining, fucking Danny's wearing his like Apollo 11 shirt and stuff like that, or his Apollo shirt, or I think it was 11.
And there was something to do with the room number.
Yeah. And then like, I mean, there's like also like The Shining had a lot of like stuff that was towards like the genocide of the Native Americans and stuff, but Stanley Kubrick's put a ton of shit in like his movies saying like, hey, the moon landing was fucking fake. And I mean, and there's a lot of video you watch and you're like, you know, and then like, if we did that in '69, like why haven't we gone back and done anything else? Like, why wouldn't we have like
been there, done that?
Yeah, I mean, like, I can understand, yeah, oh, hey, we've been there, we've done that, but it's like, I mean, that's fucking.
You see there's a movie coming out in February. I went to go see The Eternals yesterday, and they showed a preview of this movie called Moonfall. And the premise of it is the moon was somehow, I don't know if it's man-made, but it's a manufactured thing. Like they go inside the moon, and you can see there's all sorts of scaffolding and interior. So the moon really wasn't the moon.
Huh.
I don't know, man. It's world's crazy, man. Everything's crazy.
I will end it on this. Why conspiracies? Is the Earth round?
Oh yeah, Earth's round. People that think the Earth is flat is fucking stupid. I know. There's a couple guys. There's a band that comes used to come play at like the Hoochies and stuff called Three Blind Mice, and the drummer is like a failed rock star. He's just like, hey, I knew a guy that was in the Bay City Rollers and huge Trump supporter and fucking he did flat earther, dude. Flat fucking earther. Like, and he used to go on, and I went off on him one time.
They're funny to listen to. I saw that. I watched that.
Well, if I'm standing on this, why can't I see the curvature
geez.
of the Earth? It's like, I mean, there's a lot of like, I mean, certain planes, like you can see, like, why do we have to prove that the Earth is, you know, like round or, you know, flat? It's like, okay, the sun's round, the moon's round, the Earth is completely fucking flat.
Yeah, it's like you're seeing all these other things. Like I saw this T-shirt one time that was hilarious. It was a picture of the solar system. Just Earth was flat. Everything else was round.
Or like it was like the flat earther like websites. Like we have flat Earth members all around the globe or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Stupid shit like that.
They made a documentary. I had to watch it.
Yeah, the flat
I'm like,
Earther.
oh my God, I gotta
and
see
the people are
this.
actually proven. They're like, well,
this guy made a motorcycle for flat Earth.
Yeah, and there's one of the guys actually like
you're like
took something that measures like the gravitational pull of the Earth and like he's like, you know, this is gonna prove that the Earth is flat, and he proves himself wrong, and he's like, well, you know.
Right.
Maybe the machine's messed up or something like that. It's like, no, the Earth is round, you know? Like, I think that's the dumbest thing. I mean, people be like, well, you're stupid to think that we did land on the moon. I don't know. I don't think we landed on the moon. Actually, Cardo Diaz, yeah, I guess his father-in-law worked on the whole moon landing. You know that?
I don't know. I mean, we don't know.
No, he was one. I guess he was one of the guys. He's in like Time magazine and all that stuff. Like he was one of the people that were like, "You're dropping here. Like this is where you are landing."
You know, one of the things that I think about because all the division and shit. I'm like, what if I'm wrong? What if the government really did 9/11? What if the election really was stolen? You know what? What if the Earth isn't around?
I don't
what
know,
if we
but
didn't land on the moon? What if I'm wrong?
I don't know, man. Like, and it like the election stealing thing. It's like, man, there's a lot of fucking Trump followers. You know, it's like, man, he says what I think, and you know, all that guy speaks his opinion and all this shit, and like the whole cult. And it's like, I mean, that's kind of weird too, because I'm like. I mean, like, I didn't vote for Biden. I think Biden's fucking senile. And I think Trump's just fucking stupid. And it's like, I don't hate Trump. I just think the people that follow him are just fucking ridiculous, man. Like, you're fucking ridiculous.
The
like
thing that's so ridiculous about him is like, if you actually met Donald Trump, I'm like, these people who love him, I'm like, he would not piss on you if you were on fire. The guy does not give a shit about anyone but himself. It's like, and these people just love him so much. And I'm like, but you haven't like, I've read books about the way that people who have researched Trump for years. And I've been to New York after the 2016 election, and 3 different college-age students were sitting there in the bar saying things that I had read in the book. They're like, I will always hate Donald Trump. It's like, in the 80s, my father was a contractor, did work on his buildings, never got paid. I'm like, these are all facts. Yeah. Like, you could read about them in this book.
Well,
how do these people
he's
like
a self-made millionaire. It's like,
he got it from ripping people off.
Yeah, or it's
he got money from his dad.
And he was born into it.
If somebody gave me billions and billions of dollars to invest, it's like, I'd probably be able to invest in something and to make money off of it.
He's had all those failed companies. His Trump Steaks, Trump Vodka, Trump Airlines, Trump Football Team, all this. I go, and then I was explaining to the dudes I did the play with. I'm like, you guys, you need to go into I go, do me a favor, one time go into the Las Vegas Trump Hotel there. You're not going to see any machines in there. You want to know why? He's not allowed to have a gambling license. Who owns a casino and can't have a gambling license? Like, he got that shit yanked from him years ago in Atlantic City.
Yeah. I just, I understand, like, being pro-America and, like, I want America to prosper and be a great country and all that stuff. But it's like, how can you just, like, listen to this guy that you support? Just that's like,
especially
the Christians.
Really wants.
Oh God!
So like if you're a Christian and you believe in Jesus Christ and all this shit, how can you think like he is?
He's nothing like Jesus, except that they both hung out with prostitutes.
But they put him on the same level as Jesus Christ.
I don't know, man. I know so many people that just like, and it's weird. So when all this shit happened, like when Trump became president, it's like, people I grew up with, I was super good friends with, you start realizing how fucking racist and like fucking pieces of shit they are, and you're like, are you fucking serious? Like I have a buddy that I grew up with when I first moved here. He was like one of my best friends, and like Trump became president, and like he just became a fucking piece of shit. Like I feel like he got like entitled, like, as a Trump supporter, I am entitled to say the most dumbest shit and be able to get away with it because I have all these other people that are Trump supporters and they're supporting everything I fucking say.
Leader does
basically anything that you go, that's kind of fucking racist, you're fucking anti-America. You're anti-American. And it's like, dude, this guy, I don't know what happened to him, but supposedly something happened and he can't work. I mean, he can walk, drive a car, he can talk, he can sit at home, play video games all day long, he can sit around and smoke weed all day long.
But those goddamn socialists.
For some reason he can't fucking work. And he's going on talking about people that don't work, how pieces of shit they are. And I'm just like, you're the fucking epitome of this. Like,
I think I just figured it out. I think that I know what they like about Trump so much is he screams like it's okay to be a fucking hypocrite. It's fucking okay to do it. Because he's a fucking hypocrite. And then, like you said, this asshole living off of the fucking social services and not realizing or failing to recognize that about himself. But he's like, but it's okay for me to do it.
Yeah, it's okay for me to be a hypocrite.
It's okay for me to fucking live off of socialism, but I'm going to call these other motherfuckers.
Then it's like just some of the racist fucking shit that he would just spit out. And I'm like,
do you know how the country started?
But the Democrats are the real racist.
It's like, I'm Mexican, and like my buddy over here that also grew up with us is black, and some of the shit you're saying is pretty fucking degrading, especially when I guess I'm doing better in life than you are, like.
Right.
And it's, I can't work because of the doctor said I can't work. And it's like, I have a buddy who got in a car accident, can't walk, and was in a wheelchair, had a fucking job.
And was still working.
It's still working. Like,
it's on you, dude.
Yeah, you're a little slower. You can't be a Walmart fucking greeter. You can't work at Walmart. You can't work this job. Well, the doctor said, like,
but
I can't do this. It's like,
games all day?
you can sit around and smoke weed and play video games and then drive. Oh, and then, check this out. Then, him and his girl were driving, hit somebody. I don't know if they killed him. I don't think they killed him, but they, like, hit somebody. And I'm like, well, you more likely you were fucking high. So therefore, you should get a DUI because you're under the fucking influence. You dumb fuck. Like,
people are insane.
What do you think? Just bring this back to 9/11 and whether it's a conspiracy or not. But we had that 2 weeks where we all got along, we all kumbaya and loved each other. What would you think if you were in that spot and you fast forwarded 20 years later and you looked at this, because the division that is going on now?
But I don't feel like we really all got along. I feel like everybody was like, fucking, we're America.
We were
need
at least polite
to unite. We got to fucking stand up for what's right, except for that taxi driver because he's Indian. That motherfucker's probably got some ties to 9/11. We should destroy his house and destroy his business. Any of that shit.
No, but did you really ever think it would be like as bad as it is now? Because it really does feel like it's a downfall.
I don't fucking know. It's like, it's so fucking weird. And I feel like America is just it's a snowball. It's the same shit happens over and over and over again. It's always like, this happens and then this happens and this happens. And like, everybody's like, well, any president that we get is never going to do what they say. Like, it never happened. It will never fucking happen.
They gotta go through. That's where people don't understand that that's not the way government works. They have to still, just because they're the president doesn't mean that everything that they ran on they're going to get. They have to go through Congress,
right?
And they don't. And even sometimes the Supreme Court. It's like, this isn't how stuff works, guys. It's not like,
well, even and it's like and a president's not going to change it. Like, taxes may go down, or taxes go down, and they rise, and they fall. Gas prices rise and fall, and it's like, a president is not single-handedly going to come in and just change the fucking world. Yeah, it's like, did you see that the whole Elon Musk thing? Did you see that? The whole, what people were saying? Okay, so it was on some news thing said that Elon Musk has so much money and all these investments and stuff that he could end world hunger, just wipe it out.
Right.
Elon Musk tweeted, said, okay, how about this? You show me exactly where all this money is going to go, and that way everybody can see where all this money is going to go. I'll sell all this money and all these shares in Tesla right now, and I'll fucking end world hunger. But you got to show me where all this money is going. And nothing's happened.
Right.
And it's like, you would think like, okay, hey, if, Elon Musk has all this money, he can end, homelessness, and he can do this one great fucking thing for America that everybody fucking needs. And all we have to do is just show him basically like, hey, this is where all the fucking money is going to go. It's, you're going to do this, this is where all the money is going to go. Here's all the paperwork. Here's everything. The world can see it. You can see it.
You go,
we all can see it.
Musk, here's the plan.
I say we get Bernie Sanders to do that.
But it's like, he literally came out and said, I'll fucking end world hunger right now if you can show me where all this money is going to go. I'll sell 6 billion stocks in Tesla right now and just fucking end world hunger.
Somebody should get on it. I mean, they should be like, well, fine.
And then nobody's and nobody's done it. Like, nobody went, dude, fucking Elon Musk is going to do this. Let's fucking band together. Let's fucking end world hunger. Nobody did that.
All right, here's a theory. I guess we'll end on this because we have to wrap this up at some point.
Right.
Michael Jackson really is dead. But the government killed him because of We Are the World.
No. Because he
wanted to end world hunger.
Yeah, but he didn't do We Are the World. That was Quincy Jones.
Yeah, but he was part of it.
Yeah, it was part of it, but I mean, that would be saying that they should have killed Bob Geldof for doing Live Aid or something.
Well, Bob Geldof wasn't a good person either.
He wasn't really. Yeah, he wasn't really a great person. But no, Michael Jackson's still alive. Paul McCartney's dead though. Paul McCartney is dead.
All right. Explain.
Wednesday morning at 5:00, Paul McCartney was on his way back from a party. Thought the light changed. Came, got hit. Car caught on fire. He died. Tons of people saw it happen. Were like, "Holy shit, that looks like Paul McCartney." Beatles covered it up. Had a lookalike contest. The guy who won was Billy Shears. They announced it. Sgt. Pepper. Sgt. Pepper, Paul McCartney in the cover is wearing a fucking OCD or OPC or OPD badge, officially pronounced dead in Canada or something like that. I mean, there's so much shit on Paul McCartney being dead. Like,
okay, so Michael Jackson's alive.
Paul McCartney's dead.
John Lennon?
John Lennon? John Lennon's dead.
Okay.
But Paul McCartney, there's a whole conspiracy about that. There's even like, was it a documentary with George Harrison where he was talking about it and he's like, Paul McCartney's dead. Like, I buried Paul, all that shit. And
Kurt Cobain was murdered.
Paul McCartney's dead. I mean, there's documentaries. You can find it all over. I mean, it's like conspiracy, Paul McCartney. It could be the Paul McCartney. It might be the real Paul McCartney. But I don't think so.
I don't know.
I mean, the Beatles cover it up. They're the biggest band in the fucking world. Why couldn't they have covered it up?
So that means that the guy who replaced Paul McCartney is even more of a musical genius than Paul McCartney.
Never know.
Because the good stuff came after Sgt. Pepper's On was the really good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the Beatles had good music before,
Yeah.
but they got really creative.
Well, that's like, oh yeah, but the Beatles were, I don't know, I always hate when I talk about like the Beatles to people that are just like, I fucking hate the Beatles, blah, 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 and it's like, you can have your opinion about not liking the Beatles or the Beatles music, but the Beatles revolutionized fucking everything. Like, they literally came in, they changed fucking the recording industry, they changed how recording studios worked. A lot of the equipment that people use now was specifically built for the Beatles, like DI boxes. So like back then, they would mic up, bass amp or something, or to get bass sounds or something, and then people would build shit and just bring into the Beatles like, hey, I built this. And so a DI box is basically, you can plug your bass into the box will go into the recording console, and you, instead of miking a bass amp, you have your bass amp like right on the pedal. And it's like tons of shit like that, like the delays and going from 4-track to 8-track to 16-track recorders, like they revolutionized everything.
It was that kind of competition between them and the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Like the wall of sound.
Oh yeah, but I mean, but Brian Wilson fucking went crazy to fucking do all that shit.
See the Brian Wilson movie, the one that had John Cusack.
Yeah, that was. They know what the shitty thing was. That movie was. The whole concept of it was really fucking good. They just should have never used John Cusack.
Yeah, that's
like because like the guy who was playing Brian Wilson was fucking great, and they should have just made him look older and bring in this like not like a well-known actor, but it wasn't like this movie was going to be a fucking Grammy or Golden Globe winning movie, Because one, I mean, John Cusack is not that great of an actor. I mean, his older shit was good. I mean, he did movies that are great, but it's like why would you have John Cusack as fucking Brian Wilson? Like, he looks nothing like Brian Wilson, and it's not like if you have somebody to like, you're gonna bring somebody to be this person. It's like doing the Queen movie, and you have a guy who looks like Freddie Mercury kind of in the movie, and he's playing the young guy, and then you have John Cusack playing fucking Freddie Mercury now, and you're like, I can't buy this. Like, like.
And back to the Beatles. You ever see that movie Yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
Where the somehow there's this global phenomenon, so everybody forgets.
Yeah, everybody forgets the
music.
Beatles, and he comes in and does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fucking great movie.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Across the Universe?
No.
Never seen Across the Universe?
No. My bad.
Oh my god, it's incredible. It's like a musical, but all the Beatles music's all in it and stuff, and like, you know, there's it's not like the Sgt. Pepper movie and stuff, but it's really fucking good fucking movie, and just like all the music that they recreate is just incredible. But I mean, I hate when people say like they don't like the Beatles, because it's like the Beatles.
Yeah.
I think they revolutionized fashion. They used their popularity to help civil rights. You know, it's like they took a stand on shit. Like they, what's it called? The Beatles and Pink Floyd are like the two only real bands that took a royalty cut just so they could actually have more time in the studio to actually like make a great fucking album. You know, it's like,
Yeah, well, it's too bad Paul's dead to see what the is.
What has become of
I
him?
know.
All right, so there you go. I hope this earns us some money on the OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. You can subscribe for $5.99.
All right, good night again, everybody.
Good night.